Sexual orientation and gender identity are complex and multifaceted, and the ways in which they develop and change over time are not fully understood. However, research suggests that a combination of biological, psychological, and social factors may play a role in the development of these identities. Biological factors may include genetic and hormonal influences. Studies have shown that there may be some correlation between certain genetic markers and sexual orientation, but it is important to note that there is no single gay gene or trans gene that determines an individual's identity. Hormonal influences during prenatal development have also been suggested as a potential factor, but more research is needed to fully understand this link. Psychological factors may include early childhood experiences, such as parenting and relationships with peers, that can shape an individual's sense of self and sense of belonging. For example, some research suggests that children who have positive and accepting relationships with their parents are more likely to have positive attitudes towards their own sexual orientation or gender identity. Additionally, experiences of discrimination, harassment, or violence based on sexual orientation or gender identity can have a negative impact on an individual's psychological well-being. Social factors such as cultural and societal expectations, discrimination, and access to affirming resources can also play a role in the development of sexual orientation and gender identity. For example, cultural and societal expectations can influence how individuals express their sexual orientation or gender identity, with some individuals feeling pressure to conform to traditional gender roles or hide their true selves in order to avoid discrimination. Societal attitudes towards the LGBTQ+ community can also affect the level of discrimination and harassment that an individual may experience. It's important to note that sexual orientation and gender identity can change over time, and this can be due to a number of reasons. Personal growth and development, changes in life circumstances, or the influence of new experiences and relationships can all play a role. For example, some individuals may identify as gay or lesbian in their youth, but later in life may identify as bisexual or pansexual. Similarly, some individuals may identify as cisgender when they are younger and later realize that they are transgender. It's important to accept that each person's journey is unique and that there's no one right way for someone to identify themselves. It's also important to note that the development of sexual orientation and gender identity is a continuous process, and some may not be able to identify with a specific label or category. Some people may identify as fluid, which means that their sexual orientation or gender identity can change over time. Additionally, there are some individuals who identify as non-binary, which means that they do not identify as either male or female. In conclusion, the development and change of sexual orientation and gender identity is a complex and multifaceted process. It is influenced by a combination of biological, psychological, and social factors. It is important to recognize that each individual's journey is unique, and that there is no one right way for someone to identify themselves. It is also essential to be accepting of others, regardless of how they identify, and to work towards creating a more inclusive and accepting society.